So here we are. As you can see, we've got all the tapes on the drywall now. All the screws have been filled. And we're going to fill the butt joints and the flats today. And so there's two basic types of mud you want to be concerned with. There's only really two you need to be worried about. One is yellow mud, which is for taping and first coat filling on screws. And the other one is a general all-purpose mud, which is good for filling everything, and it's sanded easier than the yellow. One big distinction between the yellow and the blue mud is that the yellow mud has glue in it. So it'll hold the tapes firmly on the drywall, and also it'll hold the first coat on the screws more readily than the regular all-purpose. So as what we did with taping, we tape the butts first, and then we tape the flats second always, and then if we're going to do corners are the third thing to be taped. So there's three: butts, flats, then corners. You always do them in that order. And now we're going to fill. So I've got my hawk and trowel out here. Some people might prefer to use a broader knife than this, like an 8 or a 10-inch knife and a pan. That's what quite a few people use as well. Most tradesmen will use the hawk and trowel. And so I'm going to fill this butt first. So I get up here, and because the butt is slightly protruding from the drywall, we have to fan it out a bit. So we're going to flare it out like so, smooth it out. So now we've got probably 18 inches wide of mud there, something like that. I'm feathering one edge like so. Hopefully there's not too many dry bits in my mud. Let's streak it. I got another one like that. And then we'll just leave it like that for now. It's just a rough first coat. And we'll do the other half of the butt here. Any little nerds or things you see on the board as you're traveling around, just scrape them off, because that'll prevent you from sanding them later. And as we all know, no one likes sanding. Sanding's no fun, so we try to eliminate sanding at all costs. And here we are, so we've got the second pass. I'm just going to clean that edge off. See how nice and clean that is now? There will hardly be any sanding there. And I'm going to clean this edge off. Little nerd there, I want to get out of there. And I'll feather this edge in as well. Keeping my trowel, both sides of my trowel clean at all times. And then I'm just going to do a pass like that. Lots of ugliness in this mud. And then I'm going to do a pass like that. I'm just going to leave it like that. That's ready for next coat. And now I'm going to show you how to do a flat. And as you remember from before, the flat has got a bevel on either side. So already this tape is embedded in this bevel, in this flat. It's actually dead flat on the drywall. So I'm just going to put a slight coat over that tape, and I'll feather it into this butt. And that'll be our first coat. Just like so. Getting up to the wall. Like that. Feather that in. And I'll do it again. And bingo. And I'll just do the same procedure throughout this ceiling. I'll do this butt next, the other butt, and finish the flats. This particular application, there's no top angle tape because the client is going to put tile on all these walls. So the tile will butt right up into the ceiling, so there's no need for a top angle tape. And that's how we're going to fill today.